welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're back on GT Sport and we're back with a track guide for the FIA Round 3 taking place at the new Dragon Trail Gardens track that got added a few months back. Never really done much racing on this track, so it was a bit of a learning curve. I think I've done a little bit in the Group 3 cars. Obviously using the SLS, this car is not very well designed for this track, obviously very heavy and a little bit of understeer through some of the fast corners, so you've really got to play with the throttle sometimes and try and line the corners up really well. This type of track is probably more, I mean, I'm guessing that the Megane Trophy would be one of the stronger cars around this track, something like that. I would love to be driving the Megane in the FIA race at this track. Unfortunately, I've got to be using the SLS. You can see there I'm running a livery that's one of my subscribers I think has created. It's really nice. I really like this livery, and I would just like it if there was my YouTube tag on there, logo on there, but I don't know how to do it, so hopefully you can get that sorted for me with like a YouTube logo and my YouTube logo from my channel. That would be great if you could get that on there. So if he's listening, please try and get that on there for me on the AMG GT for that Group 3 car and the SLS obviously. So anyway, this lap, it's a reasonable lap. I wanted to get it in the 1 minute 36, I managed to achieve it. The SLS obviously is not suited to this track, so I'm going to go through pointing out the brake points, etc., and try and give you as much advice as I can. Obviously you're going to be able to brake a little bit later with certain cars like the Megane, but this lap should give you a base lap to work from in no matter what car you're in. Also it's on the daily race today, so it should help you out in that. So going into turn 1, you're going to see that I lift just before the end of that curve there. You see I lift and start braking there, just a very amount of slight braking, not heavy braking. You see off the throttle, and then try and hold the car as close. You see as soon as that curve starts on the left hand side, it's where you want your front left hand tire to clip, and stay really close to the left as much as possible as you get on the power, and then obviously let the car drift out to the outside as you're on the power maximum throttle. Then I use that 100 board on the right hand side as a braking reference, and I'm going to downshift into 3rd gear. As soon as I hit that, down to 3rd gear, and then trail brake slightly. As you approach this corner, you want your left hand tyre to be clipping that curb on the left hand side, and it helps swing you through the corner. And then just lift off a bit of the throttle and then back on the power, and you see lifting again, because I want to get this car to bounce, go over them curbs. I want the right hand tyre over that little bit of red curb and the left hand tyre on the left hand side of it, and then you won't pick up a penalty and it stops the curb bouncing your car around. And then the same thing for this corner, on the power maximum throttle, and again you want to go right over the middle of that point. You're aiming to get the middle of your car over that little bit of red curb, and that will stop you getting a penalty and also stops you getting your car unstable. It's quite hard to do, it does take a bit of practice, and I still get it wrong, but for a flying lap, if you hook it up, gains you a lot of time. Going into the next braking zone, braking just after the 150 and a fair bit before the 100. I like to brake early here and then trail brake all the way into the corner. You're going to see me slowly feeding that brake pedal off as we go into the corner, and then trying to get the car into this really early and get on the power as early as you can. I like to really get on the power. You can see how early I'm on. I'm on the power now, and then full power. I prefer doing it that way than going in really deep, because you lose so much time going into that corner deep. I like to get the brake really early and just square it off nice and early. And now this corner, you really need to stay as close to that left hand curb as possible, purely because the next corner is a really fast right hand corner. So a lot of this track is left to right straight after each other, and that's why it's all about, it's quite technical. You've got to get the car from one side of the track to the next side. You see there a very slight amount of braking just to help the front end bite down into the corner, and then in 4th gear throwing it back over to the right hand side, then straight away flinging the car. You can see how much straight away getting it from the right to the left, and I'm going to attack this curb. I want my left hand tyre to skim the apex of that curb. It's quite hard to do, it's quite an unsided corner, and it's also off camber, which drags your car over to the right hand side. And then as you go through the corner, maximum power, use some of that curb on the right hand side. You can get away with it, just be careful not to run too far wide. It will bounce the car in the air and you'll lose a lot of time. And then again, just a quick tap of the brakes as we go into this corner. You see there, tapping the brakes and then trail braking slightly, and then you're going to use your throttle to just keep the car in the middle of the track through the straight bits, and then as you hit the apex, you're going on the right and you're just trying to skim the apex. As you see there, again, not running too far out to the full width of the track. It's just like a constant one. You want to kind of make that one corner where you're just going round it in 3rd gear, skimming every single apex as you go through it, and then if you get that right, you can gain quite a bit of time on that corner. So The final corner, a very tricky one as well. Braking just before the 100, that's where I like to brake. You can actually brake quite late here because you can get away with running very deep into this corner like I'm going to show you now. It's how I prefer to do it because it opens up the final corners again, going very deep into the corner, and then that enables you then to really attack this corner from a wide angle and get really good acceleration down the straight, which is not only good for obviously lap time, it's good for your defence if someone's close behind, because if you're getting 3-4 miles per hour extra out of that straight, you know, onto the start of the straight, they're not going to be able to get you slipstream before the corner on the head. So it really does help in your lap time. So you can see there going over the line on a 1 minute 36.9. Obviously this car is not perfectly suited to this track. I'm pretty convinced that if I was in the Megane, I may be able to get down to a 36 flat or even a 35. I really don't know, because the Megane is so suited to this track. It will lose a bit of time on the straights, but I remember driving at Bathurst, even though you lose a bit, you gain so much on the exit speeds. Anyway, as usual, I'm going to leave you guys with the behind camera shots from the chase camera for anyone that likes to use this view, just so you can see the change of directions I'm talking about and how it plays at full speed from this view. So I hope you enjoy this video. Hope it helps you out in today's daily race, also the FIA race later. I'm going to jump on hopefully at some point today and do some practice for the FIA race. I won't be in the daily race. I'm going to mainly just do my practice with the settings that are going to be on for the FIA race. So hopefully the race goes okay. I'm hoping it'll be an okay race. I'm not expecting much again from this race because the SLS is just too heavy for this kind of track. Hopefully the next season we'll have some tracks that suit this car a bit better. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back with more videos very soon on either iRacing or GT Sport. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click that notification button so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks again for watching, everyone.